Hello and welcome back to the EmpowerHer Business Accelerator Podcast. I'm your host, Phillipa Channer, and today we're continuing our March series on marketing channels. In last week's episode, we discussed how to identify the best marketing channels for your business. If you haven't listened to that yet, please make sure to check that out. That's going to be episode 116.9. I encourage you to check it out. It's a great starting point for building your marketing strategy. Now, this week we're focusing on how to maximize your reach across multiple platforms. With so many channels available, it's important to know how to manage them effectively to get the most out of your efforts. Now, before we dive in, I want to share some exciting news with you. The EmpowerHer program is now available as a brand new self-paced email-based version. This flexible format is really perfect for busy entrepreneurs looking to level up their marketing strategy on their own schedule. You're going to get the same great tools, templates, and insights delivered in a way that works for your life. I want you to check out the link in the show notes for all the details and to sign up today. All right, so now let's dive into today's topic. All right, so first off, let's start with why expanding your reach even matters. The more platforms you use effectively, the more opportunities you have to connect with your audience. However, managing multiple platforms requires strategy and focus to avoid burnout and ensure consistency. All right, so expanding your reach doesn't mean being on every single platform. It means making the most of the ones that you choose to be on. By leveraging multiple platforms strategically, you can do three different things. One, you can reach different audiences. Each platform has its own unique user base, allowing you to connect with different segments of your target market. It also helps you to repurpose content. Using multiple platforms lets you share the same core message in various formats, saving you time and effort. And then lastly, it helps you build a cohesive brand presence. Consistent messaging across platforms reinforces your brand and helps build trust with your audience. All right, so there are going to be, of course, some steps to maximizing your reach. We've got a few steps, so let's start with the first one. Focus on the platforms that matter. What is the platform that matters to you? So last week we talked about choosing the platform where your audience is the most active and engaged. It's better to do a few platforms than spread yourself too thin across many. So an example of this is if your audience is highly visual, focus on Instagram and Pinterest. If you're a B2B business, LinkedIn might be a better fit for you. So some of the things you want to do to this is use the analytics to see which platforms are driving the most traffic and engagement and allocate your resources accordingly. So if your website is your main channel, your main housing where all your information is living, which most of us that is, you can look at your Google Analytics and see where your traffic is coming from. You can break it down, not just direct clicks, but you can also see how many are coming from social media, and you can even break down which social media platforms are driving it. And so that would help you really see where your audience is coming from and decide, okay, maybe that platform seems to work. Let me focus my energy on there and do even more there. All right, the next step is to repurpose content strategically. Take a single piece of content and adapt it for multiple platforms. This maximizes your reach without requiring you to create entirely new content for every single channel. So for instance, a blog post can become a podcast episode, an Instagram carousel, and a LinkedIn article. I do the same thing. My podcast kind of do the reverse. My podcasts become blog posts and email newsletters and social media stuff. And so just start with one main channel and then repurpose everything for all the other channels you choose to use. So you want to plan your content creation with repurposing in mind. Create a system where every piece of content is designed for multiple purposes. The next step is to engage your audience on each platform. This is why only selecting a few channels really matters, because it can become exhausting. So you want to tailor your interactions to match the platform's culture and format while maintaining your brand voice. So examples of this is on Instagram, you're going to use stories and reels to connect with followers in a more casual, visual way. On LinkedIn, you're going to share leadership posts that spark professional conversations. Again, it's the same content that you're sharing, it's just in different ways. And that's why having multiple platforms can become exhausting if you have too many, because it's not just create one piece of content, put it out there and you're done and you just multiply it on each platform. You have to show up differently on each platform. And that does take time, energy, resources. So you want to schedule some time to actively engage with comments, messages, and posts on each platform to build relationships and increase visibility. Often this can be done the first maybe 30 minutes of the day before things really get heavy and hard with whatever task you have, is to just dedicate some time to check in on each platform, see how the previous day's conversation went, engage, and then you can get back to focusing on the other tasks you need to do for your business. The fourth step in maximizing your reach on your marketing channels is to use scheduling and automating tools. Tools like Hootsuite, Buffer, or Later can help you plan and schedule posts in advance, keeping your content consistent across platforms. This is going to help you schedule weekly Instagram, Facebook, Twitter posts, all of that stuff, so you can focus and engage during the week. There's some platforms that will even allow you to schedule your WordPress post, so you don't even have to go to your website to do it. A lot of this will save you time. And oftentimes these tools will actually allow you to see analytics, actually even allow you to engage, so you don't have to log on to the platforms. You have one source you can go to and check on everything. So they can be very helpful. I do know sometimes some of them, if not all of them, do kind of impact your algorithm results, meaning posts that are done with scheduling tools can sometimes have a lower chance of the algorithm picking it up and sharing the content. They, as in the different platforms, prefer content that originated on their native platform. Why? I don't know why they choose to do that, but it's been shown that almost all of the platforms do kind of downgrade content that comes from some of the scheduling tools. But sometimes, to be quite honest, we got to do what we got to do to stay sane. And sometimes going to every single platform individually can take a lot, especially if you're doing multiple posts a day for each of your channels. It can be overwhelming. So sometimes it's worth it to take the hit with a little bit of an algorithm drop and using these schedules, because they really help you streamline the process and streamline getting the content out there. So explore different tools, see which ones fit your workflow, and it gives you the great ability to start batching content and saving time that way as well. Right, the last step, once you've done all that, is to then start analyzing and adjusting your content regularly. So use platform analytics to track the performance of your content and your campaigns. You want to start identifying what's working and make adjustments to optimize your content. Examples of this is if you notice that your video content performs better on Facebook than your static post, you want to focus more on creating videos for that platform. Honestly, videos are going to probably outperform any static content no matter what platform you're on. But take a look at how people respond to different types of content you're putting out there. So if they like a certain format over others, that's what you want to gravitate towards. So set aside some time, at least once a month, to review the analytics and refine your approach based on the data that you learn. I have a quick bonus tip for you today, and that's leveraging cross promotion. So what that means is you're going to promote your platforms on one another to drive traffic and followers. So for example, you're going to share your Instagram link on your email signature or promote your podcast on LinkedIn. So using the different platforms to share content, especially if you have your main content on one platform, you use the other platforms to point to that rather than duplicating the content on each platform. So if you're really heavy and you want to really build one specific platform, then that's highly recommended. If you're trying to build multiple platforms, then yeah, you want to stick to the native content on each platform, making it seem like this is the main source. But if your goal is, so for instance, I have a client who their main channel is YouTube. So every other channel, they always promote their YouTube content. They don't repost and reload the video natively to Facebook. They share the YouTube link because they want to drive traffic to their YouTube channel, get the views there, get subscriptions there. So that's another example of how you can do that. Why this matters is cross promotion increases awareness, encourages your audience to engage with you on multiple platforms, but it also, depending on your strategy and how you use it, it could drive people to one main channel if that's what you want. All right, so maximizing your reach on each platform is about working smarter, not harder. By focusing on the right platforms, repurposing content, and using tools to streamline your process, you can expand your audience and reach a cohesive brand presence. So thanks for joining me today. Next week, we're going to discuss how to measure the ROI, the return on investment of all of your marketing channels so you can ensure your efforts are paying off. And don't forget, as I mentioned at the very beginning, the EmpowerHer program is now a nice, convenient email-based platform or email-based system that allows you to engage with the program on your time and on your efforts. So I'd love to see you there. All the details for this is in the show notes, so sign up. You could still have a one-on-one session with me to learn more if you wanted to make sure that the program is right for you. Until next time, ladies, keep shining, and remember, with the right strategy, you can reach your audience wherever they are.